done a lot of work since you won the Masters 3 years ago, from a swing that we thought worked pretty good then, and we realized it wouldn't work good for longevity. And why don't you take them through what you've done?
Okay, let's see. We've changed my left-hand grip, made it a little bit weaker. We've, narrowed my stance a little bit, tried to get the club up a little earlier, keep the club head in front of my hands a little longer, going back, higher right arm. Then from there, round off the left arm, make it a little flatter at the top, left wrist.
That's right.
Left arm up a little higher. Then from there, get the club down in front of me. From here, there I can arc it off with a little bit of a bow in my left hand to a nice short follow through.
What does arc it off mean?
You know, the swing plane is on an arc, and what you want to do is have it come down on the same arc as you. It's a little bit more inside as versus your backswing, but still you want to feel like you come down, and the bottom of the arc is right where the ball is, not before that or not after it. And that's
No,
what the bottom.
a lot of the changes, Peter, the Tigers made, and he had to get stronger to make them, and he really has. He's what are you, about 20 pounds heavier now than when you first came on the tour?
Yeah, I came on the tour at 158, now I'm 180.
Yeah, so he's really worked out and got stronger, and that's allowed you to do the things in your swing
doubt
that
about
we've
it.
worked on. Let's take a set up here, and we'll
Okay.
talk a little bit about your takeaway. We're trying to get the club what you feel is a little earlier wrist set, and the key here is just to keep the right arm higher than the left. So many people get this club as you did when you were younger, sucked in on the inside. And then when you go to the top of your swing, probably the biggest change that Tiger's made is he's really tried to get his hands in front of himself coming down. In other words, arms in front of the body, where the club used to lay down. Show them how, in your old swing, when you used to get stuck.
My Olay swing?
Yes.
I go, Olay!
That's the lay the shaft down 16th tee Players
stuck.
Championship, right?
You know, and that's just because of a product of being a junior golfer. All junior golfers fire their hips hard, get the club stuck from the inside so they can flip it. Hit the ball long ways. Yeah, you hit the ball long ways, but it's hard to control. And under the gun, like a lot of pressure on yourself, it's really hard to hit the ball a specific distance with the correct shape.
On a normal swing now with your driver, how much shorter do you feel you are than in '96 when you turned pro, off the tee? With a normal swing, not trying to hit one really hard.
Probably a good 10 to 12, 15 yards.
Yeah, he's probably, to make the changes that he needed to make and to get more accurate, as he told you in our last segment, because his goal is to lead the tour in driving accuracy, which would be an incredible feat as his length. He's had to give up some of the distance. And giving up the distance doesn't mean it's still not in there, because you've still got
I
that
can still crank
30
it up.
or 40 yards if you need
I
it.
can still hit about at least a good 30 when I want to, but the problem is I don't hit the ball obviously as accurate. When I really want to step on one, I'll probably increase it by about 20 yards.
How tough was it to get the arm swing shorter and in sync, so where you really trusted it like you do now?
You know, we hit so many golf balls. What the drill I absolutely could not stand, and I still can't stand,
Let's see it then.
is that take the club up to the top and stop, and then come down and hit the shot. And this is a drill that he made me do for hours upon hours, and we're out there sweating. It's 100 degrees out there.
You were sweating.
We were both working pretty hard, but the thing is, it's just something I needed to do to feel where he wanted me to put it, and then from there, let the arms fall down in front of you.
The whole key was to get the club in a position at the top where he just felt as he transferred his weight, his arms would fall down in front of him. Now, to get that feeling, and this is good for the average golfer who's watching, here's a guy who's the best player in the world who hits more balls than anybody on the planet, and it's taken him over a year to feel comfortable with that, hitting thousands of balls, where the recreational golfer takes one lesson for 30 minutes from their local PGA pro, and they just figure they've got it. They've got it made by doing that. And so it just tells you how hard you have to work at this game. This man works harder than anyone I've ever seen. Greg Norman, when I worked with him, was the hardest worker I'd ever seen until Tiger came along, and he works harder than even Greg did. And to be good at any level, you have to put in the time and you have to work. As he said, he hated that drill. When we used to do that drill, he goes, "Oh no, you're not going to make me do that again." I said, "Yes, we haven't got it. You're going to do it until you get it."
True.
"Gosh, but I hate you when you make me do this," he'd say.
Well, it's such a frustrating drill because obviously you don't have the power, but more than anything, you can't cheat. And you can fake it in your real swing at the real speed, but you can't fake it at that speed. When you take it up to the top, stop, then go, there's no faking it.
When you do the go, is it you really working hard to allow the arms to fall down and leaving this feeling stable?
What for me, I've always been a person who would come down and fire the hips so hard and so fast that obviously the club would lag behind me. but you wouldn't tell most golfers this, is to try and, for me, what I try and feel, let my arms beat my body down. I try and feel like my arms come down first and exit through the ball first when my hips don't move. That's for me.
That's the feeling
That's
as
the
opposed
feeling
to the
I have.
reality.
It doesn't even come close to that. Obviously,
Right.
I'm more like this at impact. But for me, it feels like, obviously, my arms are winning the race, and my body is not popping out of the golf shot. I used to have a problem of laying the club down like this, then also popping out of it with my body, and my spine angle would change, and I'd chase my right hand. That's the shot I had, and I still have it every once in a while.
A lot of people at home have that shot too.
Well, they don't have it at 150 miles per hour like he does, that's for sure. But really now he tries to hold his hips and get his arms in front of his hip motion. Where if we told an average person that, they do that all the time, they'd be staying back here and just throwing their hands at it and never hit it. And like he says, that's a feeling. And the one thing Tiger and I talk about all the time is that
different things.
feel and real are not the same thing. What you feel you're doing, you're very seldom doing.
True. 'Cause I play a lot by feel. When I'm out there, sometimes I'll feel, certain days I like to try and hit a cut, or I'll close my stance that day, which is completely opposite, but that's what I feel is going to work best that day. So I play a lot on the moment, and I just play by feel what my hands and my body are telling me.
In a dress position, the thing we work on the most is really your spine angle posture.
That's something we work on very hard, is trying to keep my spine straight, because I have a tendency of getting a little slumped over, and from there I like to suck the club inside.
Let's show them the difference. Take
Okay.
a setup where you're out of position, where you get a little slumped in, the head's down a little. And what happens now, he's going to have to come up to hit this ball. Now go
Well,
to
not
your,
only that, I also take the club inside too.
he usually
going back.
always goes inside. Now take your good posture. You can see the chin gets up, the back is much straighter if we look at this position right here. You can see there's a lot of room from his chin and his chest. This just allows the turn, the right shoulder to get underneath the chin. What people don't realize, and Tiger and I work on this all the time, especially when you're in my studio in Vegas, is that so many things take place before you hit the ball
No
that
doubt
cause
about
you
it.
to make bad swings, and the average player never even thinks about that. We're always talking about posture, ball position.
Your grip,
Yeah.
you name it. It has to do with just the setup and trying to get aligned.
I don't like hitting, big full follow-through shots because I have a harder time controlling my distances. I want to be able to hit a precise distance, and generally you're not hitting full shots anyways when you're on a golf course. You're kind of taking a few yards off here and there, half a club, whatever it is. And I just find that flattening the ball out, I can land the ball on my proper number more times than not. So it doesn't have to be windy, but say it is windy. I, on the other hand, are a little bit different than Mike. I like to try and play the ball in the same spot for most of my flatter shots. Obviously, if I got to really hit one low, I'll put it back in my stance, but I like to try and keep the ball about the same spot in my stance. The only thing I will do is just cut off my follow-through. So I'll try and keep the emblem on my glove going at the target as long as I possibly can, and try and keep my hands so they don't get above my shoulders, so they can stay below my shoulders.
And what's the biggest mistake a 20 handicap would make trying to hit that shot?
Well, it's like Mike said, is that a lot of them do lurch forward. They do lean on it quite a bit, get ahead of it, and hit a lot of spinners up in the air. That's why I like to try and feel as if I'm always trying to keep my follow through. I'm right around shoulder high, if not below my shoulder high, so that I can be aggressive and just go ahead and cut it off.
Folks, this is a
Right
7-iron Tiger's got. Tiger, I have seen you hit that 7-iron 200 yards, and I've seen you hit it 120. What's the biggest thought process you go through to control that distance?
Well, it's just speed. I do a lot of practice drills where I'll hit, say, a 7-iron from here to there with a full swing, and then I'll move it out all the way out to 180 yards. And all it is just speed control, be able to control my speed with my body, my arms. So I go with the flag here. It's just my way of trying to get a feel for where the club is at all times.
How about that, folks?
My normal warm-up routine starts off with my sand wedge. I go up to my 8-iron, 4-iron, either 2-iron or 5-wood to whatever I have in the bag, 3-wood driver, back to my 8-iron, my 60, and whatever I hit off the first tee. So what I'm gonna do is show you a warm-up routine that I use in a tournament, and then I'll hit some funky little shots for you guys, and we'll have a good time doing it, okay? All right, so what I normally do is I hit three golf shots with no direction. As you said, I'm just warming up. Now, what I like to do is hit a few different shapes. So right now you're seeing me hit a little draw, which is from right to left. Now I'll hit a slight little cut, which is left to right, back up into this wind. All right, I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting really, really tempted to hitting this drone over here. Yeah, so there's my boredom right there. Thank you. I've got a driver already? Yeah. Okay, can I hit a? Okay, look. How about? Okay, hold on. Time out. Can I have my 3-wood to warm up first before my driver? Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, hold on. All right, here we go. Ooh. That's pretty good. That's a new 3-wood. I think I might like this one. All right, this is a brand new 3-wood, so let's put it through its paces. Okay, let's hit different shots with it. Okay, they've got to all end over the W. We got to hold this back up against the wind with a little bit of a cut. Thanks, dude. All right. Let's hit a low and right to left. How far do I hit this? About 280 in the air.
You might hit those cars back there.
They're made to be hit, right? Let me hit one little low cut here and see if this through is any good. That's not that bad. You like that? I think so too. Okay, so, one of the things that I always do in every single warm-up and practice session, I always try and learn something, but more importantly, I love to have fun out here doing it. So, as you can tell, I'm getting a big kick out of hitting these shots for you guys. All right. Don't hit the car, okay? All right. You guys ready for a big one here? All right. Oh my God. All right, okay, I'll be serious. 3,000 yards. I don't know if I really have that in me. I can try. 3,000 yards, huh?
Oh, that's 130 miles per hour. That's at least 130.
That's pretty close to the other guys. One a low one. All right. Now let me climb the ladder here. All right, let me climb the ladder and hit one up in the air. Okay, how about that one? Higher still. I got one more level above that one. All right, here we go. There we go. Perfect. Okay, what I do differently between those two shots is that my dad had a saying of, what's that acronym? KISS, keep it simple, stupid. So what he would tell me is, have 3 golf balls. The middle one is where I normally play it on an everyday Eddie shot. The back one is where I hit the low one, and the high one is all I do is move it up one more ball. I mean, I keep it very simple. All the difference is, what I would try and feel, if I was gonna hit one low, I try and feel as if my hands stop at my rib cage, okay? If I want to hit it high, I try and feel like my hands stop over the top of my head. So if you look at those 2 shots, I'll try and stop it right at my rib cage. And then slightly higher than normal, I try and keep my hands finishing just above my head. Okay? Here's a shot that I'm sure most of y'all are familiar with. That one. But we will try and aim it, okay? All right, I'm gonna start it on the flag out there in the distance, the far left one, and I'm gonna end it on the R in my name. Right there.